Hey guys, this is GA Villain, and I'll be doing a commentary on Disney vs. Marvel Villains War Round 1. Really to sort of give my own personal thoughts on the series and give you sort of a little bit of insight on everything. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in. So the first fight we have here is Hades versus Loki. This story, the fight had been there really since the idea was crafted. I had always known that I wanted Hades to fight Loki. At the time I was going to have him, well, sort of fight Dormammu here. It was just sort of like a passing thought, really, but I knew Hades versus Loki was going to happen, and so it happened here, and it was sort of the real whole start to our series. I really liked the way this fight was editing. It was the one I showed to Queen Ursula and the Cult of Kefka to sort of see if they liked the idea or concept behind this war. And they both really enjoyed this fight, so it sort of turned into a whole series, so I'm really happy about that. And those of you who haven't caught this part of the storyline, Loki does throw this fight with Hades so that he can sort of plan behind the scenes. So Hades sort of has a hollow victory here. But I really enjoyed this fight. It's probably my favorite fight of this round. And so here we have Doctor Doom versus Frollo, which is a fight that I sort of came up with because Doctor Doom is a gypsy, and Frollo, hates gypsies, and I kind of like the way that played off each other. This fight sort of gives the start to one of our big plot lines in the series, the sort of the Nazi Hydra war type thing, which appears constantly throughout the series. And I think this was a great way to start this off. I tried to use just one scene of Frollo's because I realized that you could use multiple scenes of Frollo for multiple fights. And I also wanted to kill him off in a way that was different from Man Wu's series, so I had the lava sort of, quote-unquote, fall on him. And plus, it really gave me the idea the way to bring him back without a cop-out. So I like the way that worked out. And next here we have Jafar versus the Mandarin, which is a fight that more or less I had the idea from at the beginning. I used footage here from Hercules and the Arabian Night, really because it fit better, and I had it on my file at hand, rather than having to download the full Aladdin movie at the time, though I also have a little bit of House of Villains clips in there. Mandarin I originally was not going to bring back. He was originally just supposed to stay dead here, but I just like the idea of him finding his rings slowly and surely throughout the series. And I also really like the way I edited this fight. I don't want to pat myself on the back too much, but I do. So here's Kraven the Hunter versus Clayton. This was probably my biggest missed opportunity in the series, because I was originally going to do a sort of jungle storyline with Kraven the Hunter, and this was going to be like the start of it. It would have been between Kraven and Scar, but I cut it, and in the end, this fight ultimately ended up being sort of the first chapter of the gang war, which I don't like, because I think Sykes versus Kingpin should have been the start. But yeah, in hindsight, I actually really do wish I would have done the whole Scar-Clayton storyline, but it just sort of fell apart. It's one of those things that it's like, oh well, spilt milk in the past. A few people were disappointed about Clayton's death, and I kind of was too, but I was going to bring in Lady Walton, but it didn't happen. Sorry. Here we have Atuma versus Ursula. I used footage from the Little Mermaid series here because it's looked better with the Avengers series than the movie Little Mermaid did. In fact, I actually have a full edited version of this fight with the movie footage on it, but I scrapped it in favor of this one because the designs of Avengers Earth's Might United They Stand just look so shoddy next to the full animated Little Mermaid ones, and using the TV series, it looks a little bit better. It's a little bit more bearable, and this fight actually was going to be Dr. Octopus versus Ursula, but I just decided I needed a villain that I could really just kill off right here and now, if you know what I'm saying. And here we have the epilogue where Loki gets brought back with Enchantress. I was going to have a soundbite here with Loki sort of explaining how he threw the fight, but I didn't do it. Sorry. It just didn't happen. And here we have Hades, he's thinking, and then he goes to team up with Maleficent, pretty much in the same way he does in Disney Villains War. I had to team these two up. They're my two favorite villains, so they kind of had to go together. They ended up not being as much a pair of plotters as they did sort of in one big team. I don't know if I'm making sense or I'm just kind of babbling. But, yeah. And here's my Jafar Ursula team-up, which was going to be just the two of them operating together. But I decided to make it so that both of them were working for Maleficent. And, yeah. I also think I probably should have used the footage from Return of Jafar, where Jafar is underwater with Abismal, but that's just a spilt milk incident again. And here we have Mandarin being brought back, which, as I said before, I wasn't originally going to do, but I decided on it. So yeah, there you go. Okay, so here's my first commentary on the series, so I hope you liked it, and yeah, have a nice day.